Ocean Victory, the 459-foot mega yacht that lives like a private city. The hook. Let me tease you with one detail that sounds impossible until you picture it. Ocean Victory is built so you can bring a full-size tender inside the yacht, like you're docking in a private indoor marina. Keep that in mind, because that single feature explains why this yacht doesn't feel like a boat. It feels like a floating luxury base. First impression: big but not messy. Ocean Victory is a 140-meter mega yacht, about 459 feet, delivered in 2014 by Italian builder Fincantieri, with exterior design by Espen Øino. At this length, some yachts start to look like cruise ships wearing designer sunglasses. Ocean Victory avoids that trap. The lines stay clean, the profile stays confident, and the whole thing reads like it was engineered first, then styled. Exactly how serious luxury should feel. What hits me most is the control. Nothing looks random. This yacht gives quiet power, the kind of presence where you don't need neon or gimmicks, because the scale is the statement. Overview: the number that matters more than length. Here's the real headline. Ocean Victory's volume is around 8,506 gross tons. GT is the space you actually live in. Lounges, cabins, spa zones, corridors, service routes, storage, and all the hidden infrastructure that keeps guests relaxed. It's the reason a yacht can host a crowd without ever feeling crowded. She's built across 7 decks with a steel hull and aluminum superstructure. And she's SOLAS compliant, which is why you'll hear bigger guest capacity figures attached to Ocean Victory than typical private yachts. In many yacht profiles, she's described with about 13 guest cabins hosting around 26 guests, supported by roughly 50 crew. That crew number is not trivia. It's the difference between nice and effortless. Key specifications: what she can actually do. Ocean Victory carries a beam of about 18.6 meters and a draft around 5.6 meters, giving her that planted, stable feel you want when deck life is basically an outdoor resort. Performance is commonly listed around 18 knots cruising and up to about 25 knots top speed, which is wild for a yacht this large. She's also associated with diesel-electric power built around MTU machinery. Translation for real life: smoother operation, strong redundancy, and fewer you-can-feel-the-ship working moments. On a mega yacht, quiet is a feature. Interior energy, where mega starts feeling human. Inside, Ocean Victory is credited with interior styling associated with Alberto Pinto and Laura Cesaramboli, and you can feel that luxury hotel logic in the way spaces are meant to flow. On big yachts, the danger is that you end up with a maze. Long corridors, rooms that feel unused, and a vibe that's impressive but not warm. Ocean Victory leans toward resort comfort. Big gathering zones that don't feel stiff. Private areas that actually feel private, and service paths that keep the staff working like a backstage crew. Details like a guest elevator get mentioned for a reason. On a 7-deck yacht, it's not just convenience. It's how you keep the experience smooth for everyone, all day, without turning the yacht into a workout plan. The deck life: pools everywhere and space that doesn't end. Ocean Victory is famous for deck real estate, including teak coverage in the neighborhood of 2,000 square meters. That's why the yacht feels like it has neighborhoods instead of decks. You can be social on one level, disappear on another, and still have the ocean as your background. She's also known for having multiple pools, often described as 6 across the decks. That sounds excessive until you realize it's not about quantity. It's about choice. A sunny pool, a quieter pool, a spa-style pool, a place to cool down without turning the whole yacht into a party. That's the real luxury. Control over the mood. And speaking of mood, Ocean Victory's layout is frequently described with a beach club vibe at sea level. That matters because it changes how you use the ocean. Instead of the water being something you look at, it becomes something you step into, come back from, and lounge beside like it's your personal coastline. The feature that explains the whole yacht, the floodable dock. Time to cash in the hook. Ocean Victory is widely described with a floodable tender garage, an internal dock capable of housing a tender around 14 meters long. That's not a little side boat. That's a real, comfortable craft you'd use for day runs, transfers, and exploring shorelines without sacrificing style. Now, here's why it matters. Bringing that tender inside protects it, hides the operations, keeps decks clean, and makes the yacht feel calm. It's the difference between a driveway full of toys and a private garage where everything is handled quietly. Organization is luxury at this level. Also, let's be honest, telling someone you parked your boat inside your bigger boat is a flex that doesn't even need a caption. Helicopter energy and the movie arrival. Ocean Victory is also described with helicopter capability, including a helipad and an internal helicopter hangar with a lifting platform. That changes the whole travel story. You're not just moving on water. You're turning geography into a suggestion. Remote becomes reachable, fast. And if you're comparing icons, Ocean Victory sits in a rare lane with the mega yachts that feel like moving destinations. The difference is that Ocean Victory's flex isn't loud styling. It's the completeness. Everything you'd want is built in, and it still feels composed. The underwater room, the ocean becomes interior design. One of Ocean Victory's most talked about features is an underwater observation room. If you've never seen one in person, it's hard to explain the feeling. You're sitting in quiet, climate-controlled comfort, and the sea is right there outside the glass, moving like a living screen. It turns ocean view into something cinematic. Money talk, what this lifestyle really costs. Ocean Victory has been valued around $294 million in widely reported coverage. And that's just the purchase story. The ongoing story is the operating budget. A common industry reality is that annual running costs often land in the high single digits to low double digits as a percentage of value, depending on crew, insurance, maintenance, refits, and how hard the yacht is used. On a yacht in the approximately $300 million neighborhood, you're talking a yearly burn rate that can reach into the tens of millions. When Ocean Victory has been offered on the charter market, published starting rates have been around €750,000 per week plus expenses. And plus expenses is the part that turns the week into a true production. Fuel, dockage, provisioning, and the onboard allowance that makes everything feel effortless. The base rate is the headline. The lifestyle is the full invoice. As a normal human, reading those numbers makes me want to open a budgeting app and apologize to it. Why Ocean Victory is a modern luxury icon. Ocean Victory isn't just a mega yacht, she's a system. She's designed to host, to move, to recover, to deploy tenders and helicopters, and to keep all of it feeling quiet. That's the real flex. Not just owning something enormous, but making it feel smooth. And here's the reveal. That floodable internal dock is the clue to the whole philosophy. Ocean Victory isn't built like a floating mansion. It's built like a floating base that happens to be a mansion. Quick question for you. If you had 1 week on Ocean Victory, what would you prioritize? Pure relaxation, spa, pools, sunset dinners, or non-stop action with tenders and helicopter day missions? Drop your answer in the comments, because your ideas help shape what I cover next. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit like so YouTube knows you want more mega yacht deep dives, subscribe for weekly luxury lifestyle investigations, and consider joining the channel for members-only extras. And if you want to directly support the next episode, Super Thanks is the easiest way to keep the luxury living detective work moving. I appreciate you for being here.